So for today, I wanted to do something to talk about my builder's journey. And for those of you who know Joseph Campbell, the hero's journey, it's kind of my experience as a builder. And about a year ago, I heard about Monaverse through our awesome meta guys who's here, an interview he did with Metanauts. And I wanted to share kind of like what it's like to be a total noob in terms of a 3D builder and come to the space and what happens. So yeah, this is what kind of this presentation is about. And then at the end, I'll be showcasing some of the worlds I've built. Okay, so this last year has been a roller coaster ride of learning, failure, perseverance, community, and triumph. And those of you who know the hero's myth, love Star Wars, that kind of fun shit. And this is kind of the journey and the process you go through, I think with learning in general, but like in the metaverse, a lot of times we, in the Discord and all this stuff, this is a lot of the stuff that comes up, and it helps you understand that it's normal, going through this and learning together. So call to adventure. So my call to adventure was that first Mona Build-a-thon, which happened about a year ago. And as a new builder, and I have for many years taught as a STEM educator, so I do come from digital arts background, but not the 3D game development world, like our friend here, Matt, and a couple others in here who are super badass. So when you come in, you're like, wait, what the hell is Unity? Like, how many panels does Blender have anyway? I don't know if you guys play with Blender, but infinite, endless panel land. And all these kind of things just coming in there and kind of exploring. And, being an educator myself, I've taught from like ages 5 to 80. It's always, I'm always with like, as the educator going, it's okay, embrace it. And it is true. It's just like, it's fun. It's like, it's cool I love being forever a kindergartner and learning and being in that space. Because that's when I think magic happens, because you don't know what's possible. So that's when you start breaking shit. And that's kind of my journey. Okay, so the supernatural aid of my journey was early on, there was no The Matt Empire. He was a builder along with us. It was Matt and Justin, founders of Mona, along with Alex. And in the beginning, there was only one Matt. Those of you who know, there's many Matts now. So my builder's journey was really jumping in the deep end, and I've always been the one to encourage, if you never built, come build. It's so fun. That's when you really learn what's going on. And even if you're not the one who builds in the end, your space, by building, you really learn what's possible, and then you can really communicate or work with whatever builder you have to create the magical world you have in your head. So I haven't really learned to swim well, but I make big splashes, and at least I stay afloat, and that's all you need. Come up for a gulp and come back down and just have fun and keep building. Okay, challenges. Yes, so much to learn, right? I am also a VR sculptor, so all the worlds that I'm going to show you guys, except the couple of the two down here were built in Blender, but the rest of the worlds that I'll be showing you guys are all Gravity Sketch sculpted. And within that world, again, there's so much to learn with Gravity Sketch, Blender, Unity in it, but that's the magic, because there's so much power in each one and how you can use each one and learn that workflow between them all. It's just pure fun. I remember the first time I put on my headset, I was like, holy shit, I'm in Tron, I'm in the software. This is like my happy place. Okay, so this is... Well, okay, that was the first time I ever had one of my Unity spaces into Playground, and it worked. So I was seriously in there playing that song, running around like a happy lunatic, like, this is so cool. So I was totally hooked. Like, I brought a model from Gravity Sketch to Unity to a real playing run-around world. So it's sometimes those small little moments that you're like, this is just so cool. Okay, so back to challenges. I think most of you have seen these crashes and windows. It's part of it. If you're not failing, then you're not really doing it right, I think. You have to fail a lot. I failed a lot. All the time. I still fail all the time. So thank you to, and part of it is, that builder's journey, the mentors and everybody along the way, and of course all these amazing builders, like the Mad Empire, OG, Metageist, you name, there's so many. These are the ones that in the beginning there was a lot less of us, so we really bonded in health, but it really was like what you guys did, what you're creating really inspired me to keep learning, keep creating, because it's a lifelong journey. It's not like next year I'll know everything. Hell no. It's always changing. Technology is changing. And even when I taught, I would always tell the kids, like, it's a journey. Like, the process is similar. The tools will always change, but if you have that stoke, that'll keep you going. Like setting yourself that stoke level. Revelation, the abyss, death, rebirth. A lot of times you're in that, like, why did I even embark on this journey? And to remind yourself of that kind of guiding light. Mine was always been to, like, learn to bring my 2D. I come from, like, a silk screen, recycled fashion background. And so, like, my goal has always been, how do I bring these creatures to life? So that's kind of always been my, like, I want to do that. So that's always kind of kept me going by embracing that builder's pill of what happens on that. So let's say, allowed me to realize it's not even about the end goal, but about learning how to embrace and trust the whole process of creation. And yeah, and that's when you start, magic things happen when you start building. I think most people who've been in there are like, then you get millions of ideas. That's usually what I've experienced. Transformation. I'm now a builder. I still don't know what I'm doing, but I build anyways. Just, right? You just got to jump in no matter what. It's return. Did someone say you build a right? And like I'm sure like most people in here like who've built, like I have thousands of worlds I want to build, so that's kind of like a little beacon of like I can't wait till I learn these tools better to create again what I see in my head, because I'm still I have to put the work in the metaverse. This is what we do all day long. That's unity. Those are custom avatars you can make, which are a hell of a lot of fun. That's actually Decentraland right there. So that was actually a video I showed earlier this week. It was part of a hackathon I was a part of in Bogota, and it was for a environmental research component research center that kids in schools could access and use. Everything in there would be open source and would be available as lesson plans for kids to learn about building the metaverse, environmental research, all that kind of fun stuff. But it's also like kind of a reflection of putting work in the metaverse. Boombox Head rocks. He's the musician. So I just wanted to finish up, show you a couple of the worlds. Let's run around in there and you can see what it's like. So this is my first world that I ever built, and let me see if the music, and it's using yours, okay? It's okay. This is Metageist's amazing avatar. So this world was built all in Gravity Sketch, and then it brought it into Unity and played around with all the textures and fun things. And there's still a couple POAPs hidden in here nobody's found. I hid them a little too well. So like a lot of this world here actually like is a reflection of a lot of like traditional paintings that I've created digital versions, and then I brought into a skybox. And then also have one of my favorite places in the world, the Bisti Badlands, which is that in the background, this place I love to go and explore. And like, so I bring a lot of elements that have inspired me. And this whole place is actually like, there's a little like journey and thing you're supposed to do, and it's in the front right there. So you have like this whole adventure and mission you're supposed to do. So if you come in here, you can do your mission and explore. And and this is our weird portal box that brings you to another crazy little world. So a lot of times I explain the art I do is like in the land of in-between, between order and chaos. So I think this is kind of a good reflection of my mind. And this is another little world. And this is Quetzalcoatl, as an Aztec butterfly god. So that's him up there ruling over the world. And this world is kind of like the rabbit hole world, and it's made up of all, again, gravity sketch elements and weird textures, all made up of, where is he? Here, he'll stop up there, and he'll become Quetzalcoatl. He's the cosmic flutterfly jester, so when you take yourself too seriously, that's when the jester comes and says, chill. You gotta not take yourself too seriously. Run around the metaverse. So within this world, there's tons of stuff. Down here, you can go down the rabbit hole, and you can just go down, follow the bunnies. So there's all these levels and hidden worlds and hidden things within here. But this was a lot of fun because it was like a exploration how giant this thing is. Beastly. I think I went and made it too big, but it's fun to see what Unity can do, how you can push it, how you can break things, and it's just pure fun to see what's possible within here, and playing around with some of the reactor elements and all the stuff and the technology that Mona always is changing, and makes it even more fun to build and create and see how you can make things interactive and just playful. So all of this eventually, when there's video, there's like about 7 different movie screening rooms. So you can have whole conferences in here. Each area kind of, if you run around, there's 7 different screening rooms, including that one right there that you see in the distance. So like this was meant to be this kind of like psychedelic giant conference center. You can talk about consciousness studies or whatever you want in here. But yeah, that's just a little drop of my last year's journey as a builder. And really thank you guys for listening, and hope you guys build. Go build. Thank you.